In today's video, we'll go over our new JDBC driver for Dynamics BC and Nav. This would include the License Manager, Connection Manager, as well as working within Eclipse utilizing the driver. We would first download the JDBC files for Dynamics Nav. This would include a Java archive file when unpacked. This file is an executable, which allows you to double-click, which opens the License Manager. Within the License Manager, on the left side shows useful details of the JDBC toolkit and license details such as product installed, component version, release date, as well as a few other details of your current license. On the right side, you can request a trial license. Please note, this option would be grayed out if there is a current license already activated. The Change Update License Key option would be selected if the license key needs to be changed or updated. Install License option lets you select the .lic file you receive, or if you have an OEM license, you may initialize this by entering it in the third option. The last option, JDBC Connection Manager, lets you configure your connection to your Dynamics service. If you are familiar with our SSIS Dynamics Nav Connection Manager, this will have a very similar layout. With the Connection Manager general page, for the service endpoint, we support both REST and SOAP connections. In both cases, you may select the server that matches your Dynamics environment. The authorization server URL is pre-populated, but you may click the Use a Custom URL to change this if needed. The SOAP service endpoint has 3 grant types: authorization code, client credentials, and certificate type. For grant type authorization code, you would enter the details such as the service URL for your instance and any additional details you may get for the app created within Azure, such as the client ID, client secret, AD tenant, and any redirect URIs specified. If working with the token you have created before, you may select the token from the location path. If working with a new token, you may select the Get New Token button and enter the details below. If you need some additional scopes, you can always unlock this and set the desired ones. After these details are entered, you would be able to select the company from your drop-down list. The second grant type, client credentials, is very similar to authorization code, although this is a server-to-server authentication, which involves an application user. Please note that the service URL would differ based on if you select the REST service or SOAP. The client app ID and client secret you would get from Azure app. The secret would be generated and the client ID can be found within the app overview. Lastly, when all those details are selected, you would be able to choose the company from the drop-down below. Once ready, you would be able to test the connection to make sure it's successful, and then once successful, you can copy the entire connection string to the clipboard. The last option, the grant type certificate, you may provide the path to your certificate and enter the password associated. Otherwise, you may generate a new certificate with the button New Certificate. You just need to fill out the details and save. The last 2 settings will apply to any connection type. The service timeout in seconds is the allotted time the call would have to process before a timeout error occurs. And if you need to ignore certificate errors, you may enable this option as well. Under the Advanced Settings page, there are some additional option settings that you may provide. You may enter the tenant to specify your tenant. The retry on intermittent errors is enabled by default. Our component will retry when intermittent errors are detected at set intervals. And this would be helpful where otherwise the execution may fail, such as if the server cannot be accessed temporarily. Under the proxy server settings, by default, it's set to no proxy. Alternatively, you can auto-detect a system-configured proxy by selecting the second option, and if one is found, you may select it, and if not, it'll give you this message, proxy not found. The final option, manual, lets you set the proxy server and port, and then if authentication is also required, you may enter a username and password as well. Under the last page, license info, this may be used as a reference and has the same details provided in the License Manager for both the product and the license. For today, we'll be working with Eclipse in our example, but any other IDE will work as well. You may create a new Java project by going to New, Java Project, or you may work with an existing project by finding it in the directory. Once you have your project, you would want to have the jar file referenced. And to do this, you right-click, go to Build Path, Configure Build Path, and then under Library Module Path. As you can see, we already have the nav one from before, so what we'll do is we'll just delete it, add new jar file, and this is the path to my jar. You may select it, press open, and it should be added as a reference. Once you're happy with this, you can apply and close to save any changes. Within our project, we have 2 Java classes prepared. You can see in the try block lines 16 to 18, we have pasted our connection string from the connection manager before. You may enter the copied connection string here as well. We support the insert action for creating new records, the update action for updating an existing record, and the upsert action to first attempt to update an existing record or create a new one if no matching record can be found. An example can be seen for insert on line 23, update on line 27, and upsert on line 32. On line 23, we are performing an insert action, working with the contact entity. We specify the fields we look to write and the values we want to set for each of those fields. Note that our values are hard-coded just to simplify our examples. On line 27, we are working with the update action to update an existing contact and setting a single field city value to represent another city. For updates, we are specifying an existing record we intend to update and we are matching it based on ID. As you can see, on line 32, we attempt to update based on the values provided, and the upsert fields, otherwise the records, will get created instead. We have 3 fields to upsert and the values we'd like to set. The upsert statement needs to end with onDuplicateKey update upsert fields, and we have specified 2 keys as the upsert keys. In our second class file, we are reading from our nav instance, and just as before, we'll be working with the data source, so we may copy and paste the connection string from before. On line 23, we select the field we would like to retrieve, we specify the entity that we want to read from, and filter to retrieve a field or many fields. Records that don't match the criteria will be excluded. On line 24, we can see all the records retrieved are stored in ResultSet, which may be read later on in the code. We hope this highlight has been helpful to showcase the features when working with our JDBC Dynamics driver, License Manager, and Connection Manager. KingswaySoft, data integration made easy.